Hi friends, how are we today? Welcome to another Brutus Monroe live stream. I am here today to show you the new release from Simon Hurley Create. So I can't wait to see what we can create with all this. I'm really excited about this release. So I think we should hop right in, don't you think? All right, I'm gonna pop down to our desk here and we will take a look. Oh, hi Marlene. Hi Dawn. How are you today? How are you? Okay, so today is release day with Simon Hurley Create, so it's so exciting. He has a new stamping foam, so I'm just gonna pop in the link there for anyone who wants to check those products out. But we have a new stamping foam. It's called Heart Cut. So this is the packaging it comes in, and then this is what it looks like outside of the packaging. So you get 2 of these full pieces in your package. And then the cool part is this heart pops out of, oh, hi Candy, thank you. This heart pops out of the stamping foam, so it gives you an extra shape. And then this you can do with or without the heart. And the great part is this covers an entire A2 card panel. So that's really exciting. That's definitely something I think people were requesting. So that's new stamping foam. We're gonna do a couple different things with this today to test it out and try it, but I want to get through the whole release first so we can have some fun. So there are a few stencils. There's 3 different stencils in this release. This first one is called Grand Greenery. So let me go ahead and pull that out for you. And it's just a collection of different leaves, ferns, you know, whatever you want to call them, but a bunch of different greenery that you could use, you know, paste through this, gels, you could use inking, you could use markers even to go for it. So I really like this stencil. Any type of greenery, it's always good for backgrounds, I think. So that is the Grand Greenery. The next one is really fun. It's called Tiny Hearts. So the name kind of tells you exactly what it is. It is a bunch of tiny little hearts. This is a really good stencil to use, I think, the stamping foam with. So I'm going to kind of show you what stencils can do with different impressions on the stamping foam as well. So that's the Tiny Hearts stencil. And then there's also this stencil that is called Vases. So this coordinates with one of the stamp sets that's released today. So the great thing about this is it comes with these 5 different vase stencils, but it also comes with the little mask pieces. So if you wanted to stamp the vase, you have the masks that fit in all of them. So you have both pieces. And a lot of times stencils don't always come with the inner parts. So it's good to have these extra pieces because it can really help with masking, and then you don't have to cut anything out of masking paper. So the cool part is I'm going to show you something really fun today with this stencil and our new stick and stamp mat. I was working on it last night and I was excited. I was like, wait a minute, that's going to make this so much easier. So let me pop the masks in so I don't lose them. And then, of course, there are 2 different peel-apart background stamps. For anyone who loves Simon Hurley's products, you'll know that these red rubber background stamps are really top quality. And they're really unique in the way that you can use the entire background, and then you can also pop certain pieces out. So for instance, these paisley pieces pop right out. Not all of them. I think there are, yeah, 3 different ones pop out on this. So if you wanted to, you know, just have like one piece or create a background using just one of the pieces, there are a lot of options there with the paisley background. Okay. And then similar to that, the stippled circles background also does something cool. So this one actually peels apart in several different ways. And I love this. Makes it really simple to create unique looks on your cards or whatever projects. So first you can separate this into 3 different pieces. And this piece can become, you know, a border, or you could use these pieces to create like a gatefold type of situation on a card. I think it'll be cool. But you also have the option to pop out individual circles. So if you just wanted to add, you know, certain colors in certain places, you have the ability to do that. Because because the stamp comes apart in so many different ways. So I think that's a really true testament to being able to utilize your products for multiple different things. That's one thing that I think the Simon Hurley line sets itself apart from others. So let's pop that back in there. Who else is joining us today? Hi Gina, hi Darren, hi Robin, hi Kay, hi Tisha. I'm trying to get to everyone. Okay, so this stamp, the next one in our release, in the release today, is called Sketched Florals. I love this stamp. So mine, I have actually already used it. So I've stamped it. And you can see this is the stamp that the vase stencil coordinates with. So as you can tell, you can stamp this out and then go kind of color it in with the stencil, and it makes it really simple to fill those in. But the great part about this is there's so many big floral images as well, and some cool sentiments. So I like these kind of reversed sentiments with the filled in background. I think those are really interesting. So that is the Sketched Floral stamp set. And then the final stamp set in the release is called Bold Bouquet. And this stamp set's really unique in a way that you get the positive image, so you get all the line work, and then you also get the negative image, so this would fill it in. And these 2 pieces line up perfectly together. So for example, you could stamp this out in, you know, all different colors of a rainbow. You could stamp some ink on it, spray it, whatever you want to do, and then you could go over top of that and fill in all of those lines. Or you can use them independent of one another as well. I'm going to try this one today with some white ink on craft paper, and I think that's going to look really elegant. I think it would make a nice start to a shaker card. Okay, so those are all the stamps and stencils. And then for those of you who love the Lunar paste, this has been a really popular item ever since it came out. So we have 2 new colors today. We have Triple Berry, and we also have Prom Queen. So let me just open these up and show you a little closer. I've used some of this as well too already. But if you have Simon's ink line, these colors match the inks. So it's a really shimmery, shiny paste that you can do several things with. You can go over a stencil with it. You can use a palette knife, go through a stencil. You can add a little water, put it on a blending tool, blend a background, all kind of stuff you can do with this. So these 2 colors are perfect for this time of year and Valentine's Day. I think it's a really good addition to the line. So hopefully we'll see a lot more colors like that in the future. So speaking of the Lunar paste, I want to show you. So this stencil, the tiny hearts, I have already prepared this for you guys. So what I did is I took a palette knife and I took the stencil and I took both colors of the new Lunar paste. So some of the Triple Berry and some of the Prom Queen, and just put little dollops of it around the stencil. And then I just spread it all together, okay? So then what happens is both of those colors will mix, and you will end up with something that looks like this. So I don't know if you can get the two-tone as much on the camera as I can here in person, but it looks really cool. So I did make a bit of a mess on the border, you know, don't worry, we'll be cutting that off. Hi Simon, how are you? But this is what it would look like if you used both colors together and kind of spread them together. It kind of creates, there's almost like a third color that's created in there once you do that. So that's one of the backgrounds. And then something else that you could do when you have this background. So I'm going to take a third color. So for instance, like the triple berry, these match, right? Same color. But there's another pink. It's called Love Struck. This is one of his inks. So what we're going to do is take that. And I'm going to get my little ink stand. I don't know if you guys have ever used one of these ink stands. But they're sorry, I have to get myself lined up there. They're incredible. I absolutely love these things. It holds your ink right in place. I'm just gonna grab a little blender brush, same color pink, and I'm gonna get a little bit of this ink. You've never used Lunar paste? Oh yeah, you definitely need to try it out. So the Love Struck is a bit of a different pink, but I'm just gonna go with a little bit of it, and you know, you can use as much or as little ink as you want. And I'm just gonna further color in this background. So we've already stenciled this, right? And it's nice and dry. You're gonna want to make sure it totally dries. So this is gonna take all three of the pinks and put them onto one piece of paper, two of them being the Lunar paste, one of them being this ink. And then here's the cool thing. So over here, I have put the Love Struck, but I can also come in with some of the triple berry. Let me use a different brush. We'll use more of a purple brush. I can start coming over from this side with the triple berry. Yeah, it really is a great release. And pop some of that in. And then you get so much color on here. And you can take your time, you know, you don't have to rush. So I'll just blend all this together, and then we can use this and we can cut it apart and use it as part of a background or, you know, a layering piece on our card. And it's a really, really interesting way to make something look totally different, right? And the reason I say that is it's now going to be easy, I think, easier to see. Let me hold this a little closer. Since I put the darker color there, again, I don't know if you can see it as much on the camera, but it's easier to see the differential in the colors of the Lunar paste. And the ink didn't do anything to that, didn't cover any of that up. If you wanted to add like maybe just a tiny touch of texture to this, you could also, you could put a little spritz on there. And that water will the water droplets will pick up in that ink a little bit. And I will dry that really quickly and show you that it just added like a third layer of texture with just a lot of little tiny spritz. Okay, so let's get this a little closer so we can see. I don't know if you can see it that much, but there is tiny little drops now from that mist in the background behind this. So you have all kinds of different layers there. So what's cool about this is if we take a card base, so just like a regular A2 card base, right? And then I pre-cut some black cardstock panels that are just slightly smaller. Let's do it this way. Slightly smaller. So it's, you know, about like a 1/16 of an inch of a border around that. So if we cut this down, it's good that just that little bit of black on the outside is going to really make this background shine. So first I'm going to start by trimming off our excess edge. And then we'll cut this down. What did Jen say? Oh, hi, Jen. Okay. Okay, so our standard A2 is 5.5 by 4.25. So this is just 1/8 of an inch smaller than that. So I'm going to cut this to 4. I think 4 is what we'll do. But I'm going to cut it a little strategically so I have some strips. Alright, so we have it to 4. And then it's going to be 5 1/4 is the other measurement. And if you cut down stuff like this, make sure you save these things. You can use them for something else. Don't throw it away. Always save your little bits that you cut off like that. So I believe that was the right measurement. Let's make sure. Yeah. Okay. So that's perfect. So what's going to happen here as we start to assemble this, which I'll start doing that right now, I'm just going to use a liquid adhesive. I might get... Okay. So I just have some liquid glue. And like I said, this little bit of black is going to make such a difference, I think. And I feel like I learned this from Gina K. So anyone who is a fan of Gina K or watches Gina K a lot, you'll notice that she often does put a layer of black, just a black panel in between, and it adds just that like little bit of a background. You know, it makes everything stand out, perk up. All right. All right, you guys. So here's where we're at so far. Doesn't that look so cool already? And that was so easy. I know that I had already done the stenciling and let it dry, but truly, it's so simple. And that's just really using the Lunar paste, the stencil, and just a little bit of ink, right? See, Elaine, she knew that, right? Definitely, that's totally a Gina K trick, 100%. Okay, so before we move on to more of this, I'm going to do the next part that I told you about, the stick and stamp mat. So those of you who don't know, we have a new stick and stamp mat that I'll show you really quick. It fits perfectly in your stamp positioner, literally perfectly. But I'm not going to need that because I've already stamped out what we're about to do. I cheated. So last night I stamped out all of these pieces on this stamp set, okay? And a lot of times there are no dies. So the Simon Hurley line does not have cutting dies. So you guys know I love cutting dies. If a stamp has a die, I'm like 10 times more likely to buy it. That's just how I am. Because I'm not super into fussy cutting. But, so I got a scan and cut for Christmas. That thing has changed my life. But, so here's the great part about this mask stencil and these little pieces. So we're going to be able to color in our pieces. I'm just going to stick them on to the mat. And I'm not doing them in like any particular order. It doesn't really matter. But you're going to see what I mean about how cool this is. And then I'm also going to take one of the detail blending tools from Ranger. And look. So we take our pieces now. The mat, it's sticky. They're not coming off. Good to go. And then, because it's still sticky around it, I can take this stencil, right, and line up on this little vase and just stick it on. Okay? And just press that right onto the stick and stamp mat. I just popped in a little link for you if you want to check out the mat. So look at that. So now everything is all just hanging out on our mat. I think that's incredible. I don't know, maybe I don't know if everyone else thinks the same, but I think it's really cool. So I'm gonna do these in, you know, a variety of different colors. So I think I'm gonna do a yellow one for sure. We'll do a blue. What else do I have over here? Okay, we'll do a couple blue ones, and then I'll do a pink one as well. Okay, so here's the fun part. And then I also brought a little watercolor, just a brush. Gina, we sent him one. He has one. He or should have one on the way. So I'm just going to stamp this right onto the mat, the glass mat. I know it's really hard to see, but it is what it is. So I'm going to spray a little water near that. Okay, I know you can't see it. I know you can't. It's there. Just know that it's there. So then I'm going to take on one side of this just a little bit of that ink and kind of watercolor brush it there. And I realize there's probably something still in this brush. That's okay. So that's one way to do it. Or the other way, you take a little detail blending tool, dip it in your ink, and then just go right into your brush, into your vase. And I'm just going to tap over this, the part that we watercolored, and it'll have like a little bit of a gradient. Okay? So that's the yellow one. So then, guess what we're going to do? I'm going to take a little paper towel to wipe up the glass mat so I don't have yellow ink everywhere. Then, I'm just going to peel this up, because guess what? It comes right off. Okay, and then we're going to go over to this vase with our mask stencil. Press it down. All right, so now, again, doesn't move, right? How cool is that, you guys? I just can't get over it. All right, so this one we'll do a little, maybe we'll do it two-tone. So I'll take some of the clear skies on the other end of the little blender tool. And I'm just gonna kind of softly blend this in. Make sure we get that handle. Okay. And then we'll just go right into the No Diving. It was a much darker blue. We'll just blend some of that right into it. And these inks are buildable. So the more you layer on top of this, the darker it's going to become. All right, so there is a blue vase. And then guess what? We can just kind of wipe that stencil off. And then, oh, here we go. Here's this one. Stick it on. Stick it right on there. So maybe we'll do a triple berry vase. And in this case, I will go with the larger blending brush to show you just how quickly we can color that in with a big brush. Look at that. And I left a little kind of white gradient on the side there. Done. All right, and then this one, this vase, I love it. It reminds me of like a modern kind of style. So let's do a pink one. Let's do a Love Struck vase. And I'll do the same thing with a larger blender brush. And I'm really gonna go in on this side. Get it nice and dark, and then just kind of lighter on the top and up here. And I'll just keep going in the corner to kind of show you that this color is really buildable. The ink line is really great. And then we have one more. So that's going to be this one. So even if you didn't have a scan and cut, but you stamped these images out and you cut them out and just stuck them to the mat, still a really great way to use it. You don't have to get out a bunch of tape or anything. It just kind of stays where you want it to stay. All right, so we have one more. Let's do, I don't know. Let's do another, or like we can do an orange one. We have orange. Roar. Yeah, we'll do an orange one. And then here's the other thing. So if you're going to do this, and let's say you're not going to use all of these at one time, you know, you might not need that many vases for the card that you're making. You can still make them all and put them, you know, in your stamp set or whatever you want. All good to go. So that, my friends, completes the stenciling of these, and then they just pop right off of this mat. There's no paper stuck to it. And then I used our Not Your Mama's cardstock for these. And actually, it wasn't for any particular reason. Well, yes, it was. I wanted to really see if the Scan and Cut would be able to cut through the Not Your Mama's because it's pretty thick. And it worked like a charm. So those are our vases. Now, into those vases are all these different flowers that you can use. Love the, oh, thanks, Simon. Oh yeah, Simon does have, there are cut files available. Ranger does have cut files. So if you're somebody who loves to use a cutting machine and SVG files, you can totally get cut files for these images, for the stamps. And I think they're available for almost for every stamp. I could be wrong, but okay. Let's set our vases over here to the side. We'll set them up with our card base so we don't get too far out of the game here. But all right. So when it comes to these, the same thing. If you want, you can just kind of watercolor them. Let's test a theory real quick. I'm going to test a theory. So this is the mat, right? The stick mat. Let's flip it over. Okay, we're gonna flip the mat over. We're gonna try something. I'm gonna stamp this ink just right on the back of this mat. We're gonna see if it comes off. We're gonna try something today. Spray a little water, because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing here. So I'm creating like a little, you know, watercolor, because watercoloring with these inks works great too. All right, so I'm just gonna go in, and this is a fake plant color that I stamped on here first. I think it's working like a charm. But what if we went like a more of a yellow green? So let's take the shooting star and we'll stamp it over here a little bit. That way, not all of our leaves need to be the same color, right? So if we take some of that yellow, take some of that green, take some of that water, we're gonna create a fresh color. Totally different color. Just created your own. So then you'll have a little bit of variation in your watercoloring. And it's so simple to do this. You don't even have to stay in the lines if you don't want to. Just do it quick. It doesn't have to be perfect. But the result is really cool. All right, now I'm just kind of painting this entire thing green. Just all of it. This is just gonna be a totally green one. But you'll see, oh, I forgot one. Okay, so you'll be able to see there's like some yellow green, some regular green, kind of just mix it all up there. All right, so let me spray off my brush so I get rid of most of that color. I'm gonna take a little bit of paper towel. And just wipe this off. And look, like a charm. Now, this is dye-based ink, just so everybody knows. It's a water-based ink. So there you go. If you're not using your mat for something else, flip it over and create watercolors with it. Learn something new every day. All right, so next we're gonna take a color. Let's take the Daffodil. And we're going to paint that in. And we're going to use the shooting star. I'm not going to use as much water though, just a little bit. I want a little more of a concentrated yellow. I'm just going to go ahead and paint this yellow. You see how quick that is? It's just like coloring it right in. All right, and then we're gonna need a green, so we can take a tiny bit of the fake plant again. And without even cleaning the brush, we're just gonna dip in some of that and just fill in this leaf. So super fast, super quick. Right there. Done. Another flower done. So while we're doing that like leaf green situation, let's just fill in all the leaves on all the flowers, even if we're not going to use all these today. Might as well just get it done. While your brush is dirty, you know, the whole thing. You know, tiny bit more water. And we can even mix more of that yellow back in. Good to go, right? And you can make this as light or as vibrant as you wish. It is, the world is your oyster. Okay, so that part's done. Now, all we have to do is fill in the flowers. So let's make one of them, let's do the Love Struck. We'll do a couple colors. We'll do one Love Struck. We'll do one like a blue, Clear Skies. And then let's maybe do one in the Bee Sting. All right. So here I am, still on the back of the mat. The bouquet stamp only comes. So there are no dies. No, there's no dies. But at Ranger, you can purchase, I believe, the digital cut files. So here's what I'm going to do. In the center of this, I'm going to concentrate a lot more of the color. Okay? And then I'm going to really load up the water on the brush and go more light to the outside of this flower. Right? And then I'm just going to kind of try to blend it all together a little bit with the water, and then that'll give us more of a concentration of color in the center. So let me hold that up. See what I did there? I'm just kind of swirling that around a little bit to blend that color out, so it's a little more dark in the center. All right, let's wipe off the brush, and then let's say maybe we'll do this one as the blue flower. A little water. Again, I'll put a lot more of the color in the center. Then I'll add a lot more water and kind of radiate that to the outside. Okay, and then we have a blue one. So then the last one is I'm gonna really take this red up here. I might even add some of the pink, so we'll do kind of a pinkish red. And then how about we bring back maybe some of the yellow? We'll do pink and yellow on a flower. How about that? Do whatever you want. The world is more exciting in color, I think. There's no right or wrong flower, right? All right, so perfect. And then that, my friends, that's how long it took to color in all of those images. Isn't that great? And we don't have to use them all right away, but guess what? They're done and they're ready to go on to whatever project you want. Isn't that cool? Okay, so the next thing I want to show you, because we are going to assemble in a little bit, we're going to assemble 2 cards out of what we've made today. Back to the mat, stick and stamp mat, right? Okay, so I have an A2 card panel right here, and there are lines on the mat if you would like to line it up. Wham bam. All right, then we're going to go back to our stencil. This one is called Grand Greenery. And look, here's the cool part. Let's just press that on. Bum, bum, bum. And look, it's on there, you guys. Totally on there. All right, so let's take the fake plant ink and go into a lot of this, because it's kind of like a little darker green. And you can go dark, light, doesn't matter. Certain areas can be different things. All right, so then why don't we take some of the shooting star, the yellow, add some of that into it, especially around these edges. And that will blend together and give you like a really cool yellow green in certain areas. Because these inks blend incredibly well. All right, perfect. So then let's peel that back. And look, you guys, we have a really cool kind of start of the background. Wouldn't you say? I think it looks really cool. So then you can peel this right off the mat if you wish. And then that's kind of what that would look like. And that was so simple. It's just 2 colors, but it really looks like 3, I think. Okay. So that's another option. And just think, you could, you know, easily put like a vase. And a flower right in here. For instance, wait a second, I have an idea. So that's about 4 inches. So let's do this. Let me take a black panel. And we will trim this down to, let's say 2. Yeah. 2 3/4. All right. And then this only goes to 3.5, maybe. Yeah. Okay. So I just cut that down. Look what we can do. Let me find some tape, some foam tape. Oh, if we have any foam tape down here. Oh no. That's okay. We don't need the foam tape. Regardless, I'll have to find some. So this won't have the dimension that I thought. But anyways, so we can glue this black panel right here. So let's just go ahead and do that. Right? Okay. And then yeah. Or maybe, yeah, maybe we'll do this. That's what we're gonna do. I have a new idea. Since we're not using foam tape, I gotta get creative here. I was really excited about the dimension, but I kind of want that to go off that edge. And then we'll kind of double that up there, but kind of make sure that they're still within the same area. And then that vase can come. Actually, let's pull this all up a little bit. So we're kind of all coming off the edge in 2 places. That's what we'll do. The glue dries clear, so we're all set there. I'm not going to glue this down, only because I do want to put like a piece of foam tape under there to get that popped up a little bit. And then this way, vase there. So we're not crooked. All right. Then, what does every great card need? A sentiment, right? So, like I said, I told you guys, I love these filled in sentiments. I don't think I want to use that one on this card. Let's go with hello, my friend. I think that's gonna serve me well. That's gonna serve our purpose today. Hello, my friend. All right, so I'm just gonna stamp that. In black. Black Raven detail ink. I'm gonna have to do that again. I didn't stamp it. I wasn't stamping it flat. I was just putting the ink on kind of midair over here. I don't know if you can see it. You can't see it. But I don't have enough ink on there. Perfect. Awesome. That's gonna do very well for us. All right, so over little hello, my friend. And then this tiny little trimmer. So the other one, do you remember the other trimmer? I use it a lot from Tim Holtz. It's like this it's a little bigger than this one. I used to call that the Tiny Tim. But now that this one's out, I feel like this is the Tiny Tim. So I gotta come up with a new name. And yes, I am that. I think I'm a little crazy as all of my crafting tools, like I have names. I name them. Is that weird? Am I like a psychopath for thinking that? Okay, hello, my friend. Actually, I think this will go over here. I really need foam tape for this, though. Let's get creative. What would Jennifer do? I have an idea. All right, guys, I don't have an idea. I can't find it. All right, thanks for bearing with me, everyone. I found some foam squares. That's what I was gonna do, Gina. I was looking at this piece of cardboard, and I was gonna glue it together. That's what I was gonna do. All right, so now I just gotta pick these off. Yeah, I just really needed this dimension, you know. I love dimension on cards. All right, so we're gonna put the little hello, my friend, kind of in between all of these things. So it's touching all the layers. And then all you have to do, grab yourself a card base. Liquid adhesive. You guys, I'm gonna tell you what, ever since I switched to using liquid adhesive for almost everything, it's really helped me. It's really changed my life. And then, do I have one more of those? Yeah. So I really want to put this foam square under this flower, like I said, so that has some like permanent dimension there. So that was like one really simple card. Just using that stencil. And you know, the background, a couple inks, a little black panel. I'm telling you, this is like my I'm really thinking about Gina today. I'm really liking this black thing. So that's card number 1, quick, simple. And then, like I said, we gotta just try out this stamping foam, and then we'll finish the other one. Okay? All right. Let me make sure I cover up the stick and stamp map. It's very important that you keep it covered so it doesn't get, you know, hair on it or anything. All right. So I want to do 2 different patterns, and here's why. I'm going to show you my cool idea. I don't know if Simon did this, so if he did, it was his cool idea. I didn't get to watch this whole live. We've been very, very, very busy, guys. We had a snow day earlier this week because the weather was so bad, so we've been really trying to catch up on some stuff. But there, let me pop another link if you want to check it out. Okay, so for this, I'm going to use the Ranger Heat It tool. It's this one. And what we're going to do is really heat up this foam. Okay, you want to get nice and warm. And then once it's nice and warm, we're going to press it onto one of these surfaces. So I have this stamp here, and then I have the heart stencil there. I might have to do that again because I totally hesitated. That's one thing I gotta say. When it comes to the stamping foam, you gotta commit. You gotta go for it. When you're gonna, after you're done heating, you press it down. You gotta get in there. Don't hesitate. Just go for it. All right, let's see if that worked. Oh, it did kind of work. Yeah, I need to do it again. So here's the fun thing about stamping foam. See, it's like, it's there, but there's parts that I didn't get because I moved it. What you can do, if you don't like your image, you can just reheat it. And when you reheat it, it goes back to the way it was, flat. So it's nice and flat now, so we're just reheating it. I'm going to do a second imprint. Going for it. I'm pressing really hard too. Nice and hard. There we go. Look at that. Check that out. It really got it that time. Okay, so here's my trick, my idea that I had. Okay, so that's that side, right? So now I'm going to heat up this side, the opposite side, because it has 2 sides. You know, you can do the same thing on both sides. Or different things. Whatever you want. So we're going to heat this up. We're heating it, right? Okay. And we're going to go for it. This is a different surface. Okay. Oh, hi, Tina. Lovely to see you today. All right, so now we have our second surface, right? But this was the cool part. This was the trick. So what I'm going to do is pop out the heart, right? And flip it around. So now we have 2 patterns on the same stamp. Just like that. I don't know if anyone else thought that was really exciting, but I thought that was really exciting. So what I'm going to do is grab a piece of paper, a little card panel. As a matter of fact, I think we'll probably go back to our mat so it doesn't move or anything. Oh, good. I'm so glad you love it. Penny. Oh, Penny. She said, I hear the applause from here. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take some of the triple berry, and I'm just going to rub on here. Rub-a-dub-dub. A little bit of that there. Then let's take some of the Love Struck and put her on this side.
Oh, it showed up a lot better than I thought it would.
Oh yeah, I pressed her really hard.
Oh my goodness, it showed. That's really good. You can't really tell until the ink's on it,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Once you get that ink on there, she's really ready for the party, I'll tell you. Cinderella is ready for the party.
She's all dressed up.
And then look at that. So that's what it looks like with the ink idea. Oh, so you didn't do this, Simon. I was like worried I was having this idea, and I'm like, he might have already done this on a live, but anyways. So this is what it looks like just on the stamping foam, right? So let's stamp that out and see what we get. And then we're going to do it again. Same way, but we're going to spray it with water first. So you get kind of like a different impression. You really slap it on there if you need to.
Sweet Lord. Woo!
And then look at that.
Oh, that's good.
So let's peel it off of our stick and stamp mat. And then it's like, there's a lot going on here. So you have two different patterns, two different tones, and you see the difference in the ink colors, a whole lot going on. So now, let's do it again. A little more ink. Yep. I hesitated. I was like, wait a second, is this the right color? So we got the triple berry going on up here. And this you can just like rub it on. And then again, we'll take the love straw because I really want to make sure we get a good, solid coloring here. All right, and let's actually try this on a tag because it's a little bigger. So then I'll take the mist, spritz that up a little bit so she gets nice and wet. And then we'll press it on. Hello from Florida. Well, hello. Take a bow.
Right.
Please.
He might have. You can't see the front.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's real
So
good.
when you do the water, you're getting like a much deeper, darker, impression.
Wait a second. That is incredible.
So let me show you something else that you can then do. So we're going to dry this up. Because remember, we flip this over, right? So what we're going to do is just take the centerpiece, the heart, and we're going to flip it back to the other way with the circles, and we're not going to wet it, but we're going to use a different color.
That literally looks like, those like... Hi everyone, sorry, my
Christopher's
commentary.
here.
I'm here. It looks like those like scarves that like, do you know what I'm talking about? Like the dipped scarves, like that they do like the hand dipping. I just can't believe how good that impression is. What do you mean?
I don't have the prom queen color, but we'll use the bee sting.
Oh,
So-
yeah, I don't know. I think we don't have that down here because that's selling out.
Okay.
I can grab you one though.
No, it's fine. We'll
I
just
don't
do
know
it
how
with.
quick I mean, it's on. Level
Okay.
2, elevators down.
So I dried it off, and then this is what that looks like with that impression. So let me wipe this off. And this will just clean up with water. The stamping foam cleans up real nicely. Okay, so let's take it out. We don't need this piece right now. We're just going to focus on our impression of the heart. So remember, it's going to match up with all these ones. So I'm going to take the bee sting. It's going to be a little different of a color. It's like more of a red. But it's the other side. So I'm going to really rub this on. We have like one opportunity to do this.
That one's a little dry too, and that's my fault because I literally used that one within an inch of its life. I've
It's
used
okay.
that one so many times. So if you don't get a great impression, it's my fault.
We'll really press it on. It is a little dry. We'll have to re-ink it, but that's okay. You will still get what we're... Yeah, you definitely need the stamping foam, Kate. Oh my gosh. How did you go this long in your life without it? All right, one opportunity, you guys. Hopefully I line this up correctly. But you could do this with black if you wanted something darker. Ooh. Really press. There we go. It worked. Oh my gosh, you guys, it worked. So look what happened. So it's like you can see through that a little bit. So it's like both patterns. Isn't that so fun? I love this stuff. So again, don't be afraid to do a double pattern and then flip, because then you get like double the fun. I love this, you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited how that... I'm glad you know how sometimes you like try stuff and you're like, well, I hope this works the way that I had intended it to. Well, guess what? It did. And then now here's the best part. So I think in the center of this would be a great place to put this I Adore You in total black. What do you think? Do you guys think that sounds good? I think that sounds good. Okay. What do you say? Whistle worthy. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Tina. Okay. Stick and stamp matte. I am going to put this in the Misty, though. Oh, I have my other sentiment in there. Good thing we checked, right? To make sure that I really line this up correctly. Let's put the magnet up there for now. Okay, so it says, I adore you. Make sure I got all my space. Oh, I'm a little out of the frame, my friends. Why don't you tell me? I'm sure he is. I know he's very he always gets excited to see people use his products. I would too. I can tell you that, like, at least with us, like when we, you know, you spend like months and months sometimes designing things and coming up with ideas, and you're like, well, I hope people really like this, and you're, you know, like kind of not sure. And then when people love it, it's just like such a sense of accomplishment, I think. So I'm going to do one more stamping of this. I'm trying to get really lightly because I'm afraid I'm going to mess it up. All right, maybe one more time. I like want it to be really dark. I could have just used embossing powder, but, you know, a good old-fashioned stamping is sometimes the way to go. Okay, and then there's that. I'll clean this off in a moment. But look, you guys, I think it looks really cool. This just, I adore you. It's so simple, but really not simple at the same time. And I think, honestly, I can, yeah, it's going to work perfectly. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this down. I know it looked really cool, but all good things have to come to an end. And trim down, and then probably need a little off the top and a little off the bottom, and a little off of each side. The tag. It's not a tag anymore, but thanks. I did it on a tag just because the tag was like kind of right there, and it was bigger. I wanted something larger. But so don't forget that we have this other one, and just so you guys know, you can totally spray this down as well. That other one, look. And what will happen is you'll get all those water droplets once that dries. So don't forget, you can always spray. All right. Nice and dry. So I'm just going to glue this on the front of our stenciled background, which I realize we are going to be losing a lot of that background, but that's okay. Totally okay. And then let's just take a couple. I found some gems over here. Because it's Valentine's Day and it's like pretty. So why don't we add a couple of gems? I'm sure there's like totally a rule. Right? People have rules with these gems. I don't think I have a gem tool around here, do I? What is this? Oh, it's glue. Okay, well, it's not gonna work, but. We'll just put 3. Three up there. Let's put like 2 down here. Whoa. If you have a gem tool, a little gem picker, it makes this so much easier. I promise it does. Okay. So that, I think, is that. It's like pretty simple, elegant, fun, bunch of different techniques going on that same thing. So the tag grew up and became a card. It sure did, Donna. I love that. Okay. Glue's still drying a little bit. But don't forget, you guys, we still have all this other stuff, right? So we did all these things. We have another background. We have all these flowers, the vase. So I still want to do something with this stamp too. I think I kind of ran out of time today because I've been live for quite a while. So maybe I'll do another live later tonight, and we'll see what we can come up with the other stamp and maybe some of our other pieces. But take a little look-see-poo at this fun card. I love that. Listen, that stamp, what's it called? Stipple Circles. This one, you guys, gotta get it. But the other one, too, that I didn't use that I now want to use is the Paisley one. So you can do totally the Paisley print on your stamping foam. So fun. And this has the new Lunar paste. It has it all. Just got it all. So we did these 2 little cards today. Totally different, but super fun. I think it's great. So I'll just show you one more time. There's a link for the stick and stamp mat, and then a link for the Simon Hurley release if you guys want to check that out for yourself. And be sure to check out all of Simon Hurley's products. He has such an extensive line, and there's a lot of different things in there that you can use. But thanks for hanging out with us today. Thanks for creating these fun cards, and I will see you on the next one.